Tonight, a 16-year-old is remanded for the murder of a 34-year-old mother of three. But why did the teenager kill Salma Oriana Fuentes? We'll talk to her co-worker who was also shot. And unable to contain gang warfare, police declare a limited state of emergency. We'll have the full breakdown and tell you who's affected. Also, a High Court judge says Joseph Budna's constitutional case against the government is of grave public importance, and it involves extreme and weighty rights violations by the state. Plus, we'll take you to Indian Creek Village, where villagers signed a petition to remove the alcalde system, an attack on alcalde Marcos Canty. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Monday, May 11th, 2026. Good evening with your news. I'm Nadira Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
At Cellular World, we believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper-quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today, only at Cellular World.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal. Es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
Our story was built by people, neighbors helping neighbors, standing side by side with those who trust us to protect what matters most and help build our communities. Being there when needed most. Across borders, across generations, still growing.
Like Diana, I've been in the kitchen. But I'm going back in there right now. And the coffee maker?
Just to try keep me the coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think more if you eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 socks and 1 shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Belize Blue Bull, the beaches, the jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Hi, I'm Ava.
And I'm Aiden. We're your AI guides to all things NHI.
In this video, we will guide you on how to become an NHI member. You, and if you have a child, must have a Social Security card. To get an SSB card is easy. Visit socialsecurity.org.bz/card-replacement to view the required documents that are needed.
There is a fee of only $5 Belize for a first-time issue and $26 Belize for a replacement card. Newborns can use their mother's SSB card for up to 2 months.
With your SSB card, you and all family members can register at any NHI contracted clinic of your choice.
You and members of your family can now access health care when needed.
Please note that once you are registered with a clinic, you must go to that same clinic when you need medical care. Look out for more NHI guides like this.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
This morning at court, a 16-year-old was arraigned for the murder of 34-year-old mother of three, Salma Oriana Funes. Because he is a minor, he was taken to family court along with his mother, where he was read the charge of murder in her presence. From there, the Lord's Bank resident was remanded at the Wagner's Youth Facility. The accused will turn 17 on December 8th. The victim was a hostess at the Buzz Restaurant and Lounge, where on Thursday night, teenagers strode in and started talking with her. The two knew each other well, and he was demanding a phone from her. She flipped it on the bar, and he snatched it, and after that, he proceeded to shoot her more than a dozen times. Reports say he confessed to police and also led them to the weapon in an area behind his family's home. But so far, investigators have not recovered the phone. And today, police told us how the suspect got access to a licensed firearm to commit the murder. They also added that at this point, they are unable to clearly define what kind of relationship the minor had with the victim.
Police have formally arrested and charged a 16-year-old Belizean caretaker of the Belize district for the crime of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder.
You had mentioned that perhaps you would be able to tell us more about their relations. What has police been able to gather further about the relation between this minor and this woman?
What I will say is that the information so far is not as definitive for me to say that there was mutual acknowledgement of relationship between the two parties. However, that is an aspect that is being reviewed.
Police been able to locate the cell phone that he was after?
I believe what I was advised was that a damaged cell phone was recovered. And on the last occasion, I also shared that the firearm was recovered, and we have since been able to establish that the firearm is the property of a licensed gun holder and actually an individual who the child's father worked for, and it is believed that he gained access to that firearm by entering the room and somehow accessing the safe to enable him to remove the firearm. So additional charges in relation to the firearm offense are expected to also be brought against him.
According to our reports, the accused lived with the victim when he was 14. And while Funes was the 16-year-old's target before he ran out of the bar, he also shot two of her co-workers. This afternoon, we spoke via phone with one of them, 26-year-old Shayanta Williams. She was actually pronounced dead by social news media on the night of the shooting. But she is actually at home recovering and narrated for us what transpired during the shooting.
I just reach work, sitting down, get ready. I had my back turned as I was about to fix my hair. Me and my friend just might have a conversation about our only thing. And a little bit after that, I start hear like a loud bang. At the moment, it didn't click to me that it was gunshots, right? So, I was left in a state wondering, what was happening. When I saw blood running down from my head, that's when I realized that it's literally shots I'm hearing. So, that's when I fell to the ground, and then I ran to hide. And I saw my coworker on the ground crying, said that she got shot in her hand. And I tried to help her. But while trying to help her, I saw my other coworker lying on the ground in blood, not responding, not moving. And then we call her Kulocha. That's her name, right? Everyone know her as that. So all of us started to fret. And everyone was shouting, crying, because she was on the ground motionless.
How did you feel when you went on social media and you saw that you were the one that they were pronouncing dead?
I start crying because my mom rushed over to the hospital along with my aunt. And my mom didn't even want to come inside. My mom sent my aunt first to see if I was okay. So my aunt came inside and we had a conversation. They told me what was posted. And then after my mom came in tears.
Williams is in a stable condition and is resting. And while the motive for that brazen crime is still puzzling investigators, police have a different kind of problem. It's gang warfare. Last week, a gang figure from the Martins area was targeted in a high-speed highway shooting. And then on Thursday night, Jamal Samuels was killed in the site area in an act of retaliation. The issue is that the PIV and the BLC gangs are now in open warfare, and they are both from the Martins area. With that close proximity and heightened hostilities, police acted to preempt off all-out warfare and on Saturday enacted a partial SOE for areas in the Belize district. It's a last resort for law enforcement. And this afternoon, in a press conference, the Commissioner of Police said the decision was made after what he calls a careful security assessment.
Well, on Friday, May the 8th, 2026, after a careful security assessment and intelligence on the ground, a request was made for the state of emergency, which was subsequently declared for certain part of Belize City and certain part of rural Belize district. As a result of the state of emergency, a total of 9 individuals were transported a few minutes ago to the Kobe Foundation. I want to highlight that the decision was not made lightly for the state of emergency, but we believe that it was absolutely necessary based on the intelligence that we have gathered and on the ground assessment that had indicated an imminent danger to life and property. Hence, the recommendation was made and was subsequently declared. Yes, all 9 individuals are from Belize City. It's a limited, we refer to it as a limited state of emergency to address an extraordinary circumstances.
Can you say whether these persons detained, if any of them are minors?
No, none of them are minors. They're all adults.
Compol Rosado told the press what the public can expect on the ground as the SOE plays out over the next 30 days.
After an assessment was done, 9 individuals were included in the state of emergency where detention was worsened.
What can people on the ground expect?
Well, our operational plan continued to be in effect. We have made some adjustment to our operation plan or enhance our operational plan on the ground to improve the safety of the residents. But I can assure the law-abiding citizens that they have nothing to worry about in reference to the state of emergency, as the state of emergency is targeted and it's specific to certain individual, and it does not affect the law-abiding citizen in any way.
How can you assure the public that law-abiding citizens will not get caught up in this state of emergency? What are we relying on to ensure that?
Well, we had our initial assessment, our initial discussion with our commander and my deputy and our legal advisors to discuss how we will implement that. And Mr. Jones, his office will be issuing a guidance in terms of which unit specifically will be tasked to enforce the state of emergency regulation, and that is the GI3 specifically. So the regular units or the uniform units will not be specific or directly engage in the implementation of the state of emergency.
And while the SOE will last for 30 days, in the first instance, it may be extended. Rosado says it all depends how quickly tensions and conflicts on the ground can be diffused.
Do you expect to detain more persons if the need arises?
If the need arises, and it's a continuous assessment that we are doing on the situation on the ground, and based on the assessment on the ground, there may be additional individuals.
So would you be able to say how long you expect this period to last?
As long as the stability remain, the calmness remain, I do believe that, because our main intent is to preserve the life of these youths within the Belize City. And I believe that what we have put in place we'll be able to contain further violence. And I believe that what is in place will allow us not to put any other individual under the state of emergency. But there may be. It all depends on the situation on the ground.
According to police, the only thing different about this SOE is how it is being implemented by law enforcement. The Deputy Commissioner Bart Jones gave a breakdown on the statutory instrument 50.
Statutory Instrument number 50 is following from the proclamation, which is Statutory Instrument number 49. 50 sets out the regulations that governs the implementation of that proclamation. So it gives life, if you will, to the proclamation and how we are supposed to do or execute the state of emergency. It is no different or substantially different from the other regulations that had accompanied previous state of emergency. But what we're going to see differently is that based on prior intelligence, persons will be detained and questioned, and if the needs arise where for them to be detained beyond the normal questioning, then they would be detention orders would be issued in respect to them. So it is not a carte blanche, or will not be operated as a carte blanche wholesale detention of persons, but based on intelligence, based on interviews, based on current investigations. Many of the persons who are currently detained are not only in relation to gang offenses, but are also suspects in some of the recent and earlier this year shooting incidents and murders. So it is more targeted, more focused than we have done it before.
Jones also claims that provisions within the SOE instrument prevent police officers from using it for arbitrary detention. Here's how he explained it.
As in the past as well, you would always hear that as a possible complaint. And as the commissioner indicated, one unit specifically will be dealing with that. So that lessens maybe myself as PC Bart Jones, who has a gripes with someone, I would not be able to go and pick up that person and say under the SOE, because only that particular unit, the GI3, will be dealing with that. And plus, the detention orders are signed by the minister, and the reasons for detention are signed by myself. And so if that person brings someone, then clearly I'll have to have the dossier, some history in terms of that person's connection to. So that's the kind of check and balance that we have in respect to the state of emergency, which have always been in the past as well.
While SOEs have been criticized even by Rosado himself as a blunt law enforcement tool to temporarily control violence in gang hotspots across the city, Rosado now has a different perspective on the use of the SOE as commissioner. We asked him what changed.
I believe that the state of emergency, or the activation of the state of emergency, is an extraordinary legal tool to combat extraordinary circumstances that traditional policing alone cannot neutralize. And I believe that it's an indication of strategic strength, proactive leadership, rather than sitting down and having business as usual. It shows that as a department, we are committed to doing whatever it takes to return normalcy to the streets.
One recurring criticism of the states of emergency, especially in areas with the most recurring crime, is that the principal gang leaders are never detained. Instead, their soldiers and other affiliates are the ones locked up for 30 days. Today, the Compol confirmed for us that key gang affiliates have been detained.
I believe what we are doing now, if you notice, we have it's referred to it as limited state of emergency because it's targeted, it's transparent, and it's accountable. And we have a necessary mechanisms in place to ensure that those individuals who are placed on the state of emergency go through a thorough vetting process. So we have a more accountable process.
So can you say whether or not the leaders of the gangs involved are being sent up as part of this?
I can confirm that, yes. We have the leadership. In fact, this SOE basically not only the shooters, but also the influencers and the leaders. So while it is limited, it is targeted.
So tonight, 9 persons are detained under the SOE, and though none of them are minors, the SOE imposes an 8 p.m. curfew on minors. Deputy Jones explained what processes they have in place in the event that a minor is detained.
The regulations have a provision in there that speaks to minors being unaccompanied minors between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. the following morning. That we will try to enforce, to ensure that, not for us to detain, but to ensure that minors are not just wandering abroad, out in the declared area. We have put in place special procedures as it relates to, in the unlikely event that a minor is detained, so that special provisions are put in, procedures from internally are put in place to address the rights of, the specific rights of minors. So we wish that we don't have to, but if that occurs, will be special measures put in place to safeguard the rights of those minors.
We take our first break now. When we come back, an SOE is in effect, but there were still 3 murders over the weekend. We'll have the latest report. And Joseph Budna, constitutional case. The government tried to get it struck out, but a high court judge today said it's of grave public importance, involving extreme and weighty rights violations by the state. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected, to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA, so you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
In Belize, some things aren't explained. They're passed down. Not because they're tradition, but because they've proven they work. When you work hard for what you have, you learn to protect it. And when the time comes, you pass that responsibility forward. Every generation faces new beginnings, but the choices that matter most are built on trust. For decades, Belizean families have relied on one place to protect their homes, their vehicles, and the lives they're building. When trust is passed down, you know it's been earned. For Belizean families, that trust has a name. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology. It's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures, customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter, smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights, distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids, and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
In Belize, change is taking shape every day. It all starts with game changers. Investing in modern transport, better health infrastructure, renewable power for all, digital transformation, and more opportunities for a brighter future, the European Union's Global Gateway Initiative is unlocking new potential. Game changers are bringing this to life. Game changers, empowering the future. Follow the EU in Belize to meet the game changers.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
In Belize, some things aren't explained. They're passed down. Not because they're tradition, but because they've proven they work. When you work hard for what you have, you learn to protect it. And when the time comes, you pass that responsibility forward. Every generation faces new beginnings, but the choices that matter most are built on trust. For decades, Belizean families have relied on one place to protect their homes, their vehicles, and the lives they're building. When trust is passed down, you know it's been earned. For Belizean families, that trust has a name. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
In our last segment, you heard all about the current SOE, but despite that, there was still 3 murders over the weekend. They happened in the north, the south, and the city. We start in the north, where on Mother's Day, there was a murder in Trial Farm. It was around 7:38 at night when shots were fired near the basketball court, killing Roberto Wicab and injuring Adrian Chuck. Police gave us more details.
The officers responded and they were advised that Wicab and Chuck were ferried to the hospital for medical attention. What the investigation has so far revealed is that Wicab and a companion were fixing a vehicle in that location when they were accosted by a male person who fired several shots, and Mr. Chuck was passing at that time and he too was injured.
Reports are that Wicab had stopped near the court after attending a Mother's Day event to fix his tire, which might have been deliberately slashed. One of the persons detained is the ex-husband of Wicab's girlfriend. And there was another murder on Ebony Street this morning after midnight. The victim was fatally stabbed and police have so far detained one person. ASP Smith told us more.
Police have detained one male person in connection with an investigation into the fatal stabbing of 56-year-old Mark Langsworth of Belize City. Officers who were on patrol on Ebony Street around 12:30 a.m. on 11th May reported that they observed an injured Mr. Langsworth at the corner of Ebony and Mopan Street. Mr. Langsworth was ferried to the hospital for medical attention. However, he succumbed to the injuries that he sustained. No motive has been established in this incident. However, as I stated, one male person has been detained, and the Crime Fusion Center has supplied some video footage that are being reviewed to see how they can assist with the investigation.
And another murder occurred on Mother's Day at around 10 at night in Pomona Village. The victim was 29-year-old Jose Ramos. ASP Smith told us what happened.
Ramos had left from inside his room and went near a mango tree, and it is alleged that a male person came from out of an orange orchard that was located across the street and fired several shots in his direction, fatally wounding him before retreating back into the orange orchard. No motive has been established in this ongoing investigation.
Now to other news, there was a significant ruling by the High Court of Belize. Justice Martha Alexander refused to dismiss a constitutional claim brought by freelance journalist and activist Joseph Ryan Budna, who alleges that he was the victim of a state-sponsored extraordinary rendition to Guatemala, extradition that should be to Guatemala. Budna, currently held in a Guatemalan prison, claims he was kidnapped by state actors in August 2025, blindfolded, handcuffed, and subjected to torture before being forcefully taken across the border. His attorney brought the suit for constitutional redress against 11 state actors, while the court struck out high-ranking officials, including Minister of National Security Karim Musa and Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado, and improper defendants. It ruled that the Attorney General remains the correct representative for the state in these proceedings. Additionally, persons who remain include CPL Barry Flowers, CPL Yannick Wade, Special Branch Officer Herman Maivit, CPL Francisco Labriel, and CPL Carlos Choco. The judge rejected the government's attempt to strike out the claim, noting, quote, his claim raises serious allegations against state actors and seeks redress for the breaches arising from the events that occurred on the 22nd and 23rd of August 2025. She also said, quote, this is an attempt to strike out a constitutional claim that is asserted to be of grave public importance, since it involves extreme and weighty rights violations by the state. The judge asked, quote, is this a hopeless case? The answer is no. The dispute is a live one that remains to be answered by the state, later adding, this matter can benefit from full ventilation at trial. She also said, quote, the claim raises a serious and live issue of constitutional breaches by state actors. In the present context, I harbor no doubt that this is an appropriate case to move forward. And tonight, the former Minister of Home Affairs, Karim Musa, is expressing a sigh of relief as he has been removed from the case as a defendant. The judge removed Musa as the claims by Joseph Budna were that he described hearing the name Karim while blindfolded, overhearing a telephone conversation. The judge referred to the evidence of hearing the mention of the name Karim is not by itself or alone and without more prejudicial, scandalous, or oppressive evidence. Today we spoke with Musa, who said how he now feels.
It was a very comprehensive, sound decision by the learned justice this morning. As you heard, and on multiple other grounds that were considered, the proper party to whenever you're taking an action against the government of Belize would be the Attorney General. As you know, in this particular instance, whether it is just through fantasy, invention, or what have you, there was an attempt to sensationalize by not just including me in my office position as Minister of Home Affairs, but also by naming me, which is something that was roundly rejected this morning. That's not the proper way to do it. And so the case against the Attorney General and I believe some of the other officers will continue. This is a well-established principle in law, and so I was quite surprised from the very outset why they would have included me. But like I mentioned, it was a failed attempt at fantasy, failed attempt at bringing inventions to the Honorable Court, and like I mentioned, it was rightly dismissed this morning. But again, it's a serious case, as the judge mentioned, serious potential constitutional rights were breached, and so those matters must continue.
And in the court of public opinion, video evidence has and continues to prove the Budna kidnapping, and still no arrests have been made. Today we asked Musa if he thinks this is a good image for the justice system.
It is definitely something that is concerning. Like I said, it is clear that a crime was committed. I don't know if you can necessarily pinpoint based on that video evidence that I saw Jules Vasquez aired. I'm sure the DPP has the version from the police department, but whether it is that you can clearly identify individuals, that is left for a court of law. And I'm sure that one day, whether it's in this constitutional motion that is going to be brought against the Attorney General's ministry and other individuals, that will come out there. So you will have a determination here in a civil court, and hopefully one day in the criminal courts as well, if the matter goes back to the DPP and it's further investigated.
Do you believe that it undermines the credibility of the government and the rule of law when an act manifests lawlessness can go unpunished?
It could potentially, but again, it depends if you're saying that the government is responsible, and I know that that has been the case of Mr. Budna. As it relates to me in particular, that's a fantasy because he knows, the media knows, I had no involvement in that. And so whether that destroys any credibility, that's left to be seen, but I can speak only for myself.
And we questioned the minister on the basic elements of the case, whether or not a crime did happen on August 22nd, 2025, the night Budna was abducted, and whether or not police officers were involved. A question we have been asking since the start, and this was his response.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Two wrongs do not make a right. We're dealing here with a convicted pedophile, convicted of many other crimes. He is justly serving his sentence in Guatemala, but the manner in which he was taken was indeed criminal.
And are you prepared to accept that there are state actors, which are law enforcement personnel, were involved in this?
I'm not ruling out anything. Obviously, that is the accusation of Mr. Budna, and so I can't rule out anything, and I can't definitively say, just like everybody else, who is responsible for that.
Why has no one been arrested for a crime that was captured on a surveillance camera and witnessed by police officers?
That is a matter that's still pending. As you know, it went to the DPP for her first review. From what I gather, as you know, I'm no longer the Minister of Home Affairs, but the file was sent back to the police department for further information, further investigation. And so that's the normal course that these matters take. And so we'll have to see where it goes from there.
And while the optics are one thing, the allegation of involvement and legal liability is another. But Musa wasn't too worried about the Budna case, as he says he knew from day one it was procedurally wrong to take any action against him.
I wasn't worried at all. Being a legal practitioner for 17 years, I have full confidence in our justice system. I know the legal principles. I'm thankful for my attorneys, Senior Counsel Eamon Courtney, but at the end of the day, I knew from the very start it was procedurally wrong to initiate against me as Minister of National Security, worse in my personal capacity, and I have a reputation to protect, and I made sure to come to case, to fill out my affidavits, to be a part of the justice system, because like I mentioned previously, even the most absurd of cases can be tried in our courts of law. we have a thriving democracy, and a thriving democracy depends on a very healthy judicial system, and we have that in Belize. And so I felt very confident from the get-go that this would be the outcome.
And with his name now legally cleared, the minister stressed that he has nothing personal against Budna.
Do you feel as if this finally clears your name out of the entire Budna saga?
Again, I feel like I keep getting these questions, but that's fine. That's your job as the media. I have zero motivation against Joseph Budna. I would have no sort of motive in order to even be a part of something like this. And so whether it clears my name or not, I know at the end of the day, I have zero involvement in it. And so I would say yes.
In other news tonight, Musa is taking a stand and supporting the SOE, saying that after serving as 5 years as the Minister of Home Affairs, SOEs are about crime management.
Yeah, crime management, and obviously, like you said, it was my job for 5 years to be a part of that operation. It's very difficult, obviously, and you have to utilize many tools. Obviously, we have the Leadership Intervention Unit that intervenes in a positive way in these young men's lives who want to change. But there comes a point when there are certain individuals, certain actors who, no matter how hard you try with them, they will continue to act in a deviant manner and act criminally and take people's lives. And if it is that the police has information that there's going to be retaliation, that is usually when a state of emergency is called, to protect individuals from being retaliated against and for protecting the law-abiding society. Because sometimes individuals who have no part in the gang warfare get caught up in it and get harmed. And so it really is to protect them, and at the end of the day to intervene in terms of trying to talk to both groups, the warring factions. In this case, I believe there is an ongoing feud in the BLC area that requires intervention and requires a pause button. So there are multiple reasons for a state of emergency, but primarily it is to hit pause to see if there can be interventions that can resolve things positively.
But recently, the government was found to be liable for abuses under SOEs. These cases are going to appeal, but Musa said that every SOE is dependent on facts.
So there are 2 High Court decisions that are on their way, obviously to the CCJ for determination. But states of emergencies, by their very nature, are constitutional. It is provided for in our Constitution. It is how you apply it, and if you have enough evidence against certain individuals that are detained for that 30-day period, to justify detaining them for that 30-day period. And so it will depend. Every state of emergency will depend on the facts of the case. It will depend on the investigation that is carried out, because you do have to have an interrogation of individuals that are detained. They do have rights as individuals detained under a state of emergency. So it's not just a blanket statement that states of emergencies are unconstitutional. They are not. By their very nature, they are constitutional.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll take you to Indian Creek, where yesterday it was rage against Alcalde Marcos Canty. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for a journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023 in the...
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shirley Culsel,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Nadir Craft.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Budna spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helps supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
In the heart of Belize, a battle is being waged, not with weapons, but with choices. When waste is disposed of in unauthorized locations, in our forests, drains, and waterways, along our highways, and in vacant lots, this is illegal dumping. The consequences reach far beyond what we see. Toxic chemicals seep into our groundwater, threatening our drinking water. Disease-carrying mosquitoes breed in abandoned tires, and wildlife mistake our waste for food. For over a decade, the Department of Environment has worked tirelessly to clean up these sites. But they can't do it alone. They need your help, and now taking action is easier than ever. Download the ArcGIS Survey 123 app to your phone. You can report illegal dump sites. The app records the location, allows you to add photos. Simply open the app, allow location access, fill in basic details about the site. add a photo, and submit. Your report helps us protect our communities and natural resources. Every report matters. Every action counts. Stand proud in protecting our nation. Our beliefs, our responsibility. Binic.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
On Friday, we took you to Laguna Village in Toledo, where you heard from the MLA, the TAA, and elders of Indian Creek, as well as the alcalde, Marcos Canty, who was allegedly abducted. On Sunday, the other half of the village, led by the village council, held their own meeting. During that session, the speakers questioned the validity of what was said at Friday's press conference, including Canty's account of what happened to him.
Why did he choose another village to say that statement instead of facing the community? Why did he have to go to another community to address this issue? The whole nation, the world, was desperate to hear a statement from the alcalde. And then the comments that I read, people are saying it was a stage. He did not mention anything saying that, oh, I have this break that I need to send out a voice script. And look at it. He said, I was attacked by 4 persons. Help me up, tie me up. By phone. But how can you see a phone?
Everything that is being done, or that he did, or whatever they set up of doing, is fraud. It is fraud. So now, by looking at them, listening to the spokesperson, Christina Cook, supporting a fraudulent accusation on the village council. This is the most pathetic people I've ever seen, ever or heard of in this entire country of Toledo. Right? Now they are attacking the government. The government and the authorities are not doing their job what they need to do. Right? Now why should you attack the government? Because they're asking for compensation. This alcalde lives in Indian Creek. We need him to come and show his face and give us the answers that we need, that we demand. We're not asking, we are demanding.
That meeting ended with a decision. The villagers would sign a petition denouncing the alcalde system. The chairman explained that decision, as well as the allegations against him regarding involvement in Canty's alleged abduction.
The community had decided to have no alcalde at the moment, because due to the situation it's been happening, the community is at risk, and then they don't want anything to happen to them. So that's why, as I mentioned at the meeting, it's the community that have power, that sees what we need to do. So it's a community decision now, and I want to make it clear that let us listen to our community. As a village council chairman, I don't make decision. It is the people that I represent that make the decision. So I want this to make it clear and let the government knows on the decision of what Indian Creek did today. The community decided and the decision made that they don't want no alcalde. So they want just the village council to have in the community. As I stated, I have nothing to do with the disappearance of the alcalde. And then I make it clear on where I was about on that time and day. And I have evidence to prove on where we are, along with one of my, a friend of mine that was out. And I have proved to show to the nation, I'm not afraid to show to the nation that I have nothing to do with this alcalde disappearance. On what they are seeing on development, and that's where the hatreds come from. And I assuming that's where they accuse me and being the target. Why not come in front of the community and explain instead of going to the other community? He's not a leader of Laguna. He's a leader in this community, and any community need to hear, to know what really happened.
The World Health Organization has confirmed several isolated cases of the deadly hantavirus aboard a cruise ship that was en route to the Netherlands, which led to the death of 3 persons on board. Currently, the cruise ship MV Hondios is anchored in the Canary Islands, Spain, where it has been undergoing emergency evacuation of passengers. And while that is more than half a world away, hantavirus is a serious global public health threat. In a virtual press conference for the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, shared with us today what they know so far about the outbreak.
CARPHA, as the regional public health agency and the CARICOM health lead, has been monitoring the hantavirus outbreak aboard the International Expedition cruise vessel, the Dutch-registered MV Hondios, originally reported by the WHO on May 2nd as a cluster of passengers with severe respiratory illnesses. It departed Argentina on the 1st of April 2026 on a tour to the South Atlantic. To date, as of this morning, May 11th, 8 cases have been identified by the WHO, including both confirmed and suspected infections. It is not yet clear whether the newly identified US and French passenger cases are included in this total. In addition, it includes 3 reported deaths. Passengers and crew have originated from 28 countries, including the Philippines, US, UK, and the Netherlands. Several individuals disembarked or were medically evacuated to different jurisdictions, prompting international contact tracing across multiple countries. The WHO, the World Health Organization, alongside Dutch authorities, have put the vessel under strict public health protocols following a notification by the IHR focal point for the United Kingdom to the WHO of a cluster of respiratory infections on board the vessel on May 2nd. Both passengers and crew have undergone monitoring, with some already transferred for care or repatriated to their home countries under controlled conditions. International health authorities continue to coordinate surveillance, contact tracing, and risk assessment of exposed individuals.
The director for CARPHA, Dr. Lisa Indar, underscored that the virus is not new and there are several strains that currently exist. She explained that the virus can only originate from rodents that are infected and spread to humans that come in contact with them.
Hantavirus is not a new disease. It is a well-documented rodent-borne viral zoonotic diseases with approximately 20 strains, carried by rodents and present in different parts of the world for decades. These viruses exist naturally in specific rodent populations which shed the virus in their urine droppings and saliva. So they are typically rodent-borne and transmitted through contact with infected rodents or their excreta. However, the current hantavirus outbreak linked to the MV Honduras cruise ship is caused by the Andes strain, which is the only known strain capable of limited human-to-human transmission. It is found primarily in parts of South America, including Argentina. Based on the evidence available, the rodent species that maintains this virus in nature is not present in the Caribbean, and therefore there is no documented established local route of transmission in our region. This rare human-to-human transmission usually requires intimate or prolonged exposure, while the incubation period before symptoms appear is usually 1 to 6 weeks. There is no current antiviral treatment or vaccine. Care is supportive, including oxygen therapy and intensive monitoring.
Dr. Indar also noted that since the confirmation of the cases, it poses no direct threats to the Caribbean since the virus cannot spread the way COVID-19 does.
CAFA reiterates the risk is low to the Caribbean public. This is due to the scientific evidence that shows hantavirus does not spread easily between people. The Andes strain linked to this outbreak is unusual in that limited person-to-person transmission has been observed. However, this is rare, requiring close and prolonged contact, and it has not been shown to spread widely in communities. The primary source is rodents. Infection occurs primarily through contact with infected rodents or contaminated environments. It does not spread like COVID-19 or influenza. It has a short environmental lifespan and a specific habitat. Hantavirus is not COVID-19 because it spreads very differently. COVID-19 spread globally because it transmitted easily between people, including those with mild or no symptoms.
A few weeks prior to the ship's outbreak, Dr. Indar and her team were in Belize conducting consultations and a workshop on the contingency and containment plans and how to prevent outbreaks of foodborne illnesses that could potentially harm our tourism industry. They specifically went over the aspect of tourism and health when clearing cruise ships. Dr. Indar says that the training came in handy considering the current situation. She explained what protocols they have in place to detect these threats if they were to emerge in the Caribbean.
And this is one of CAFA's novel surveillance system that documents in a confidential manner different syndromes that are reported. And if a threshold is passed, then of course there's an alert. This system works for ships that are coming in to the Caribbean. So if something were to be happening in the Caribbean, we would, the system picks it up. Belize officials would pick it up in a confidential manner. And if support is needed, we would have our team like Mr. Keston Daniels and others as Ms. Samantha to actually work in terms of being able to address that threat immediately. In fact, the alerts occur instantly once it is reported, and it's something that requires an alert mechanism to be addressed. With this particular, so therefore I want to say this is timely. We do see illnesses, elevated cases that occur in the tourism population or tourism-based surveillance, and the system works by being able to identifying the threat and triggering response from the ship, Ministry of Health, and others to reduce spread. The situation with the current outbreak with hantavirus, of course, would have occurred in a different continent altogether, originating in Argentina and going up, to the Canary Islands, so where the boat would have passed. So our normal cruise ship surveillance that is related to ships coming into the Caribbean wouldn't have picked it up. However, we have other mechanisms. We do have daily monitoring. We have real-time early warning mechanisms. We have an information monitoring system that would have picked up this outbreak, this international outbreak. And this is why we are providing the information so that, we can be able to provide some more evidence, clear documented information to the press.
And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching with your news. I'm Dirk Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great evening. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.